All right, welcome to the final match of the Maine Invitational Scratch Tournament. Here we are on November, Jimmy, what day is it? I forgot already.
November. You're close. It's a Sunday, we're bowling. That's what Sundays are for.
Absolutely, Sundays are for bowling. Here we are, the final match with second-seeded Terry Robinson taking on top-seeded Joe Ramsdell III. This is the third Maine Invitational Scratch Tournament of the 2015-2016 season. Joe Ramsdell III is going for his third straight title, which is unprecedented, Jimmy. I think in the 7 years of this tournament, I don't think we've ever had anyone win 3 tournaments in a row. Can you recall that?
I don't believe so. It's, to give him a pat on the back, it's a sign of dominance. Maybe it's something against the lefties, and it's always that lefty-righty thing, but this announcer's not rooting against him, but we're definitely rooting for Terry. Good luck to both competitors, though. Joe's been throwing the ball really well. He's been high average. He's joined a new league this year, Tuesday nights in Augusta. He's been throwing the ball well there, and again, as James said, he's been our back-to-back champion to start this season.
So this morning we had, for our first squad today, we had 25 bowlers, with 5 bowlers being taken out of that for automatic bids. And our top seed was Mike Clausen, followed by Adam Mishu, Steve Beck, Scott Moore, and Mallory Nutting. And then one of our at-larges, John Archer, came off that squad. And on our 11:30 squad today, we had 34 bowlers, and we took 7 automatic qualifiers off that, which was Sarah Pelletier with our top qualifier in that squad, followed by Jimmy Clark, Joe Colcord, Joe Ramsdell III, Dean Lagner, Terry Robinson, and James Ward. And our last 2 at-larges today were Charlie Mitchell and Daryl Washington.
And again, James, let everyone know we had a couple new qualifiers, first-time cashers this week. It's always fun to see new guys making the cut.
Absolutely, great call there, Jimmy. So then we bowled our first eliminator round, and the top 8 of those moved on to the second eliminator round, and the bottom 7 got paid out. So spots 9 through 15 were Charlie Mitchell in 9th, followed by Scott Moore, James Ward, John Archer, Dean Lagner, Steve Babb, and Daryl Washington, rounding out 9 through 15. And then those other 8 bowlers bowled one more eliminator round to have a 3-game total. And we took the top 4 for our stepladder finals. Ended up at 5th place was Mallory Nutting. 6th was Sarah Pelletier. Nice to see a couple female bowlers in there again this month.
It is very good.
7th place Joe Colcord, and 8th place my co-host here, Jimmy Clark.
I was able to sneak in. Had to bowl both squads. The condition was not necessarily the hardest we've bowled on, but it definitely could get in trouble pretty fast. So I bowled the first squad, struggled with carry, made some equipment adjustments, found a little bit of carry, and was able to qualify. These 2 guys here have done more than just find a piece of equipment that works. They're throwing it really good. Carry a break there. Joe had a little break earlier on. This is definitely going to be one of our higher scoring final matches here. Eiffel Tower, I believe, is what we played on here, and the longer pattern, as it broke down, gave a little more miss from in, which naturally most bowlers miss in. So when you start giving a little tug room to some of these little good players, you start seeing some bigger scores.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jimmy. Yeah, 48-foot pattern, pretty low ratio pattern across the board, which is, what we normally do in the M.I.S.T tournament. We like to see those averages down a little bit and those cut scores either even or minus. And so in our first stepladder match today, we had Adam Mishu defeating Mike Clausen 199 to 190. And then in the semifinal match, we had Terry Robinson defeat Adam Mishu 227 to 214. So, like you said, Jimmy, as the day goes on, it seems like the scoring pace starting to go up a little bit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to give Adam some credit, he threw the ball really well. He shot 214 the last game. To his credit, I know it wasn't enough, but earlier on during qualifying, I believe 214 at one point would have been a high game out of everybody qualifying. They were tricky. They weren't necessarily hard. If you threw the ball well and got in the right spots, you threw some strikes, but it didn't last. So you had to be sharp. These guys have earned their way here.
Absolutely. Just touching on what Jimmy just said when you talk about cut scores, it took minus 37 to make the cut on the second squad, minus 26 the first squad, and the at-large cut ended up being minus 50. So, I mean, if you look at those numbers there and you're like, wow, for 4 games, that's definitely lower totals, but that means you got to make the spares, keep the ball in play. You're not going to throw 4, 5, 6 in a row most of the time. So if you can capitalize on a couple of doubles by staying clean, then you can make something out of it.
Well, as you just said, Jimmy, you can't count on throwing strikes. So when you can get some lucky carry, or good carry, whatever you want to classify it as. Who cares? It's called carry. It's called what you're looking for. When you get some of that, you capitalize, make a couple spares. My second squad, for example, I had a pair of 220 games and a pair of 170 games, and was even. So the pairs I bowled well, I bowled well. The pairs I didn't, made some spares. You know, just kind of push through, find a way to stay even, and keep trying to throw good shots.
So while we had a second, we'll update the scores here. Terry's got 55 in the third after an open frame. Joe with 28 in the first. Spares us up for 48 in the second. So basically running on a 13-pin lead after 3 frames right now. You know, this match far from over. Both bowlers throwing the ball pretty well. Obviously Joe on the left side playing with a IQ Tour Fusion. He's been using that ball pretty much all day. It looks like he's right around 15, 16 at the arrows. And on the other extreme, you have Tara Robinson using Radical, Guru, Supreme, and playing, I'd say what, probably about between 20 and 25 at the arrow. Jimmy, would you say?
Terry is way inside, and actually I almost think they're both targeting at the exact same point at the arrows. Just extremely different launch angles. One from the left, one from the right, for sure.
Both playing over the same board.
But right there, so Joe is on the left side, you're talking 17, 18, which I'm sure he wished he threw it anywhere but there at this point. But needless to say, you know, 17, 18 with the arrows. If you're a righty, you're counting, it's 27, 28. So I'm pretty sure that's about where Terry's looking with the Supreme. Like you said, he's got a lot stronger ball in his hand. He's using a little loft to clear the fronts, which saves for the back end. And if you've been watching him all day, it's working.
Oh, absolutely.
He's definitely where he needs to be. It's been interesting to see this place. This place bounces pins. You see the pin rattle around here. You guys might not have seen it at home, but Joe's actually made that before. He hits it square, hits it solid, rolls the ball well. You never know what happens.
Absolutely. Like he said, especially with those lively kickbacks here. We saw one earlier where a guy looked like he chopped the 610. I think it was Adam. Looked like he almost chopped the 610 and bounced back out and hit the 10 pin out of the back. So you never know what's going to happen.
That's exactly it. You say it, James. I was fortunate enough, actually, the second squad to shoot. I believe it was a 3, 6, 9, 10. Took 3 and had something bounce around to make the last pin. You know, at times, it's nice to get breaks. Makes you feel better.
Alright, so Terry steps up here now with Joe letting him back in this match, and I fully expect Terry to just stuff one right in the hole here. He's pretty good when his opponent has an opening.
I call that 10 back. Some might just call that radical.
That is radical.
Guru Supreme's pretty impressive ball. It's just been released about a week and a half ago. Terry's just had it in his hands for, I believe, less than a week now. First time he's really been able to use it. We got a little extra volume, a little length down there. And again, with his loft, he gets it through the fronts real clean. The ball's being beastie and picking up the lane through the mids, going through the pins, incredible.
Absolutely. So while we had a second, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Moore's Pro Shop, who sponsored our Bowl of the Year competition like they have every year. Check them out inside Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston. Find us on Facebook. Jimmy and I both work there. Scott Moore, the owner. You can check any of us out on Facebook to get any advice on your next ball you want to get drilled, shoes, bags, fittings. You can also get a hold of Jimmy Clark, who's a civil level coach here. I work with Jimmy. He does great work. Find Jimmy on Facebook. I mean, he's awesome. Best coach around by far. My daughter goes to see him. I mean, everyone and Jimmy do a fantastic work with people. I've seen it firsthand. So, my daughter last weekend won her junior gold qualifier for U15.
Well, thanks for the plug, James. A lot of it's just to benefit everybody around, you know. We want good bowlers to bowl against. If we want scratch tournament to prevail, you got to have good bowlers. So
absolutely.
As much as at times it can be frustrating to watch guys you work with kick your ass, pardon my language, it's fun to see them bowl well. So it just means I need to work harder myself and up my game. You know, shut up or put up. So time to lace up and play some practice games. 8th place is better than my last 2 tournaments, but we definitely want to finish higher than that.
Absolutely. So, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just to give people...
To touch on your daughter, though, she's put in a lot of time. In a couple weeks, a couple months, probably a couple tournaments, you might see her make a cut. She's done very well.
Yep,
to anyone, get some work, practice, you know, the proper things. You know, these guys right here are an example. Joe Ramsdell didn't get to show up in 3 finals this year because he sits on the couch.
Absolutely.
And this is a guy that puts time in. He works. He knows what he's doing. Even off the lanes, the guy that puts his time in no matter what he's doing. He's a dedicated man. I like to shit on him, but he's still a good guy. He works very hard. He does deserve the success he's getting.
Absolutely. Well said, Jimmy. And I'd also like to thank our other sponsors, Brunswick Bowling. We raffled off another Mastermind Einstein bowling ball this month, which was won by, well, Jeremy Allen, I guess. His mom won it, but she's going to have to drill it up for him. So Jeremy Allen got the ball, so he's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we'd like to see Brunswick fans build their arsenal. Jeremy's
Absolutely.
already got the original Mastermind and a Scholar. This Einstein will fit in very well for him.
Yep, and our bottle of knockout cleaner, which is by our sponsor Bowl Pro Sales and John Befoy. You can check them out on Facebook or check them out online at bowlprosales.com. Our bottle of knockout cleaner was won by Ben Furrow, one of our youth bowlers, so he was pretty happy to win that.
And again, James, to the youth bowlers, you know, the tournament for is to come out and get some experience, build your arsenal, build your knowledge, talk to some of the adults, just kind of, you know, progress from where you're at. You know, some of them can say that it can get stale practicing, but that practice is what pays off here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, we're going to float Joe's both again. He put the time in. You know, I believe at one point there, a couple of years ago, he averaged just over 240. And when speaking with him, every night before he went and bowled, he threw 4 or 5 games to get comfortable, get loose, focus on the things he needed to focus on to throw good shots, because it's all a matter of repeating.
Absolutely.
So speaking of repeating, here's Terry Robinson looking to rebound off that big ring 10 he had.
Absolutely. He strikes here, he saves it 1 pin of the match, and keeps it real close. So, you know, going a little high, playing that loft line that you were talking about, Jimmy, maybe just got it inside a little bit.
Yeah, I think honestly, after that last frame I mentioned there, he had a great shot on the left lane, which he rung the 10-pin, 6-pin out and around just as fast as can see. And I think he just tried to throw it better. When you throw great shots, they don't carry. It's a matter of just rebounding, throw another good shot, and then, you know, unfortunately, at some point, it is a little bit of that insanity. Do the exact same thing and expect a different result.
Absolutely.
In this game, if you're in the right spot, that's what you need to do. It makes us bowlers a little insane.
All right, so, you know, Terry down 3 pins in the 5th frame, working on a spare now with Joe working on a strike. So, you know, Joe obviously could increase that to 13, but Terry wants to minimize the damage here if he can strike in the 7th.
I think both bowlers are kind of in the same spot. They both seem to kind of really like one lane more than the other, but the other lane's not really a problem as much as just having thrown it really well. Although Terry threw the last shot really well, he just didn't get the carry.
Jim, you know, obviously you played deeper today too. How do you feel the ball return makes a difference for Terry right now?
Depending on how well he gets around it, it's going to depend on how much it affects him. Another good break with the 10-pin there. Again, I just think Terry's trying to throw it better because of the lack of carry. Patience, just throw good shots. He's had 2 fortunate breaks to not have any splits. You know, stuff he can make. He'll make this spare here, and it's up to Joe. See what Joe does. Joe's got to capitalize, try to throw a couple strikes here and really put the pressure on and look for that 3-peat.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you got to stay clean if you can. Because, you know, that's the thing. You can't just bank, oh, my opponent's going to double to put me down by more pins. On a shot like this, all it takes is, you saw it happen to Joe earlier, rack 7-10 in the pocket, little light switch with 7-10, so you never know what can happen. Terry stays clean there. So
very true, James. And I mean, not even just that, a little bit of a double miss, a grab with a miss in, or a push with a not hand.
I got this under control.
Fan clubs, they are awesome.
Absolutely. I think Terry Robinson brought his Tony Fernandez personal fan club with him today.
He did. But again, back to throwing, just throw good shots, see what happens with Joe here.
That looked pretty clean off his hand, Jimmy.
You got the 7 to go. We'll have pocket, but the 4 caught enough of the 7. And a lot of times, it's what makes the difference in this game is the guy that gets those little bit of just, you know, I like to say iffy hits or just not quite hits.
Yep, it's kind of half pockets, kind of, yeah.
Like you said though, James, he did get it off his hand real clean. A lot of that is what makes the difference in carry.
Absolutely.
A little bit of grab, the ball doesn't transition same going down the lane. Real clean off the hand, transitions are a little cleaner. Fudges, misses, they get covered up. That's why the guys on TV are so incredible. Speaking of that, we got Ryan Simonelli going for a title, leading the U.S. Open.
Absolutely.
We wish him the best of luck with our Brunswick-sponsored tournament here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely wish Ryan the best. And Team Brunswick did a great job out there at the U.S. Open this week. You had Sean Rash, Walter Ray. You had, I think, 4 Team Brunswick.
Cameron Weir was out there.
Cameron was out there, yeah. So,
Jason Sterner.
So 5 guys in the top 24, so that's pretty impressive.
Shout out to Flash. He's a hometown hero.
Absolutely.
Big fan around here to man Jason Sterner.
So just like to thank our, here we go. We got a little
pint for us.
Little pint for the sponsors. So we'd just like to thank our last 2 sponsors real quick. Maine Clockworks and Joe Kenny make a fabulous clock for our tournament champion every month. So you can check them out on Facebook. You can find Joe Kenny or Maine Clockworks. Does great work. And also thank bowlingchat.net. You go to www.bowlingchat.net. You can find the best bowling discussion around. Industry leaders like Mo Pinell are on there. They'll talk with anyone that's on there. Any questions, answer questions, layouts, doesn't matter what it is. I'm on there a lot, so there's some really good advice and some good people on there. So
the best part about the Brunswick team is all of the guys that work in making the equipment, they test it, and they answer. Give them a little time. Email any one of them you want to talk to. James mentioned Mo Pinell. He's a crazy, funny man, and he's brilliant. Text him, email him. The guys that talk to him, they're out there. That's the best part about that team. This team. Brunswick is they all are out to make everyone better.
I think Joe was looking for Terry's pin carry on the approach there.
Correct.
So let me just reset here for a second. Basically Joe at this point, he had a 14-pin lead, opened it up to 24. With Terry missing there, brings that lead now up to 28. So this is go time for Terry. He's no miss territory. He's got to straight out.
Yeah, I think Terry kind of overcompensated on the last one. He was fortunate enough, left himself something to make. So it's a good part about Terry's game is he really never gives away the puck.
Yep, that's a great point.
Old timers game, new timers game. I don't care what it is. If you keep it close, you hope for some better luck than that.
That was brutal. That was a nice ball.
Terry
adjustment.
Kind of on a must-strike situation. Just kind of got handed a not-so-fun result.
Yeah, that was a lot better hit than he got the result for, but,
to watch
something
Terry
makeable. So.
To watch Terry make this is kind of a testament to how it goes. You're down the hole, you throw the best shot of the game, and you go 7-pin. Make a spare and move forward and hope your opponent makes a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like you said, the lead's in the 30s now, so Joe can spare, I believe, here. I have to do some quick math. As long as he has high counts with spares, I believe this is a 30.
Yeah, he's just going to stay clean on the rest of the way out at this point.
With this tournament, anything can happen. Joe's a better bowler than, better shot maker than that, but it doesn't take much to get a bad count here. And a bad count with an open can change the entire view of this match.
Let's see what he does here. This could be the closeout frame if he strikes. Well, there it is. And then just dialed it right in again.
Again, like we talked about, James, there's, another good shot. That gets just better carry.
Yep.
Terry threw a great shot and stood up to have a 9 count.
Yep.
Joe throws the same quality shot and gets carry.
Yep.
So when it comes down to it, I don't care how good you are, if you can carry better, that's what gives you a W.
Absolutely. Especially in a one-game match like that, you're not talking like you're bowling against a guy for 3, 4, 5 games. It's a head-to-head one game, and it makes a huge difference.
Exactly, James, exactly. So barring Joe fouling or throwing this in the gutter, this is a victory lap.
Absolutely.
I think his foot went over the line. His foot went over the line. But again, another ball it obviously hits the 1-2, but the 7-9, which would imply a weak hit, both happen to fall late.
Yep, absolutely.
Everything is kind of how the pins go, and sometimes it's just not your way. And right now, it's Joe Ramsdell.
Yeah, he can finish this off for 236, which might be one of his lowest final matches
It will
lately.
be his lowest final match, I believe, by 30 pins.
He's been dominating in these final matches. It's been unbelievable.
So Joe just kind of walking his way through. Three-peat here.
Yep.
This here is going to guarantee himself a spot into the Masters of the Lanes tournament at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Maybe a chance of going to Terry Robinson talking about exactly what we just mentioned.
He tried. He gave it the yeoman's effort. So.
Really was the difference. Early in the match, Terry left that ring 7 on the left lane, and unfortunately threw 3 not so good shots afterwards because of pin.
Right, you know, he was trying to, like you said, trying to throw the ball through.
Yeah, when you're bowling a guy that is going to throw good shots and hits the pocket, you've got to strike when you're there. So that's Joe Ramsdell III with 3-peat.
First time in his history that we have
dominating the M.I.S.T here. So all I can say is anybody that's watching, come out here, let's dethrone him.
Absolutely,
you guys
Jimmy.
Can throw
That's
the
well
ball.
said.
These shots are not high scoring. Keep it close. Make spares. Come on, guys.
Come sharpen your skills. You know, you're bowling against Northern New England's best bowlers every month. Speaking of which, next month we're going to be at the new lanes up at Newport Entertainment Center on December 13th. 2 squads for that, 8:30 and 11:30. Check-in time is an hour before each squad is when we open up check-in time for bowlers. So go on Facebook, like the Maine Invitational Scratch Tournament page, get on there, you can reserve your spot. Go online to www.mist.bowlingchat.net. You can get all the tournament results, information. And we got a few thoughts to wrap this up, Jimmy, as Joe Ramsdell finishes us off with a 242 to 186 final match. And what do you have? A couple of final thoughts, Jimmy? What do you think?
I just want to thank everyone that comes out and supports Scratch Bowling. Maine is trying to do what we can. We're building what we can here. We've got, I bet, a half a dozen out-of-state bowlers here this week. We've been having some good support. People come travel. Tough shots. Low scores. Keeps you honest. Come out and bowl. Congrats again to Joe 3.
All right, thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys next month in Newport. Congratulations to Joe Ramsdell III on the victory, 242 to 186 over Terry Robinson. For Jimmy Clark, I'm James Golding. We'll see you later.